Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today is 23rd of October 2019. Today I'm going to recite from Surah al-Anaam, verse 134, or rather 43. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ثمانية أزواج من الضأن اثنين ومن المعز اثنين قل الذكرين حرم أم الأنثيين أما اشتملت عليه أرحام الأنثيين أم كنتم شهداء إذ وصاكم الله بهذا فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا ليضل الناس بغير علم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين قل لا أجد فيما أوحي إلي محرما على طاعم يطعمه إلا أن يكون ميتا أو دما مسفوحا أو لحم خنزير فإنه رجس أو فسقا أهل لغير الله به فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فإن ربك غفور رحيم وعلى الذين هادوا حرمنا كل ذي ظفر ومن البقر والغنم حرمنا عليهم شحومهما إلا ما حملت ظهورهما أو الحوايا أو ما اختلط بعظم ذلك جزيناهم ببغيهم وإنا لصادقون فإن كذبوك فقل ربكم ذو رحمة واسعة ولا يرد بأسه عن القوم المجرمين سيقول الذين أشركوا لو شاء الله ما أشركنا ولا آباؤنا ولا حرمنا من شيء كذلك كذب الذين من قبلهم حتى ذاقوا بأسنا قل هل عندكم من علم فتخرجوه لنا إن تتبعون إلا الظن وإن أنتم إلا تخرصون قل فلله الحجة البالغة فلو شاء لهداكم أجمعين قل هلم شهداءكم الذين يشهدون أن الله حرم هذا فإن شهدوا فلا تشهد معهم ولا تتبع أهواء الذين كذبوا بآياتنا والذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة وهم بربهم يعدلون. This whole surah is called Surah al-Anaam, and that means the cattles, like the sheep, goat, cows, camels, all these are An'am. And these An'am are gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be used for the benefit of the mankind. We use them, people used to ride them. They are for provisions for our food. We use its skin for erecting houses, tents, our clothing. So it has lots of benefits. Okay, and these are gifts from Allah, and Allah has dictated how they should be treated and how they should be used. Now, one of the biggest problems of mankind is that when they transgress and they cross their limits, they encroach into the arenas and the areas that are exclusive for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the area of legislature and rulings is an area for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how this society works and how it would and how it would perform the best way. You see, so so when human beings starts to override Allah's legislature in ruling the society and brings man-made solution where there is already a solution from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the society is supposed to fall into problems. So what happened, that the properties that we are given, among them are the cattle, people started to make legislatures, meaning that, okay, if this camel is male and there have been X number of offspring coming out of this male, then we make this male this and that condition. You cannot ride it, or the males among us can ride it, the female cannot ride that camel. Okay, if that she camel bore that many children, then after that do this or that. Okay, I'm not just going into detail about the concept. Okay, so the concept is that whatever property you have and there is ruling set by Allah, then that's enough. Be happy with it, because that's the best ruling for you. But when you start to make your own desires and your own you follow your own desires and whims and benefits and whatnot, and come up with new suggestions, it's you are replacing the better with something that is worse. It's similar that to the Bani Israel, when Allah gave them this food that was coming to them as a gift, they said, no, we want this and that, okay, fumiha wa adasiha, and this and that. If Allah gave us a system to manage our money, that you can manage it in this and this and that way, and don't use usury and interest and these things, that was done for a reason. It's not an haphazard rulings from Allah. And all of Allah's rulings is embedded with mercy and easiness. And very often our society is interlocked with so many things that sometimes we understand, sometimes we do not understand. So sometimes changing those God-made rules with man-made rules in a small area, it might have some effect. It might have accumulative effects that will affect some other places in a way that you haven't discovered yet. And when it comes to dealings with so many of our worldly things, like the animals, what are the things we are allowed to eat, and the usage of money, in many times Allah sets a very broad guidelines, and anything outside this is halal if you follow those guidelines. So when it comes to the food, Allah says that لا أجد فيما أوحي إلي محرما على طاعم يطعمه إلا أن يكون ميتة أو دما. So Allah says, I don't have, O Muhammad, tell them that I don't have among the rules, I don't have a positive list. I don't have a positive list that this and this and this and this are halal. No, I have a negative list that this and this and this are not halal. And then after that, millions of things could be halal. As long as you know a general guideline and a short negative list, then the rest are gifts for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to use in this world. These are gifts from Allah and you should enjoy it. But when you are not happy with the gift of Allah, you reject the gift of Allah, then Allah puts burden on you, as it happens to the Bani Israel, to the Jews. When they didn't want Allah's gift, then Allah tightened his list on them. Still they observe it, the kosher food. You cannot eat this and this and this. ذَلِكَ جَزَيْنَاهُمْ بِبَغْيِهِمْ. Allah says, I have punished them because of their own wrongdoing. They were not happy with Allah's provision. So let's rejoice, let's be happy with whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gave them, and let's not seek an alternative solutions in our monetary transactions, in our food and eating, in the whole system of transactions that Allah has made this society to run with. أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ. Do they seek the rulings and legislatures and the systems of the ages of ignorance, al-Jahiliyyah, the right and left, and the Jahiliyyah is capitalism, the Jahiliyyah is communism. It's not necessary be in an old system. Currently we are in the middle of those Jahiliyyah that are trying to govern our systems that Allah has already given his final revelation through Islam, but still we have been forced to follow man-made systems in all areas. Okay, and the situation is very clear. Those systems, they run trials. The human beings has become an experimental lab for those systems. Thousands and millions and billions of population have been exposed to these systems, and they run these trials, and they encounter this problem, then they run to another extreme where the solution is already here. أَتَسْتَبْدِلُونَ الَّذِي هُوَ أَدْنَى بِالَّذِي هُوَ خَيْرٌ. Musa said to the Bani Israel when they were not happy with the food that Allah gave them from him, a ready-made food. They were bored, they are not happy. So Musa said, أَتَسْتَبْدِلُونَ الَّذِي هُوَ أَدْنَى بِالَّذِي هُوَ خَيْرٌ. Are you replacing what is inferior with what is very superior? Are you replacing the man-made solution with Allah and God-made solution? فَمَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ يَفْعَلُ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا خِزْيٌ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. I'm referring to the verse in Surah Al-Baqarah. Those who do that, they will be humiliated in this world. They will test the inferiority. They will test humiliation in this world, those who replace the system of Allah with man-made solution. And يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُرَدُّونَ إِلَى أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ. And on the day of judgment, for sure, they are gonna have a very tormented adab on Yawm al-Qiyamah. So this istibdal and this changing of man-made solutions, Allah's made solution with man-made solution, is something really needs to be we should really fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this regard. قل تعالوا أتل ما حرم ربكم عليكم ألا تشركوا به شيئا وبالوالدين إحسانا ولا تقتلوا أولادكم من إملاق نحن نرزقكم وإياهم ولا تقربوا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن ولا تقتلوا النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تعقلون. These are the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As there are famous commandments of Allah laid down in Torah and in Injil, in previous books. Quran also has commandments, and some of the commandments that Allah tells what are the things that are haram. Okay, so these are the list of Allah, not the list of mankind, that they are very silly, that this camel, this he camel, this she camel, you cannot ride, you cannot eat from it, you leave it there, sa'iba, wasila, ham, and all this kind of weird solutions. Allah says, here is my list, the list that is full of wisdom. It's not like a man-made list that doesn't make sense. So Allah's list, what are the haram? Number 1, shirk. Number 2, being disobedient to your parents. So don't commit shirk, don't associate with Allah deities, don't be disrespectful to your parents, because after Allah and His Messenger, your parents is the one that has the most obligation and the most benefits for your existence in this world. It was your parents. When you are a small child, you cannot depend on yourself. In your weakest moments, they were beside you. And another list, number 3, لا تقتلوا أولادكم من إملاق. Don't kill. So this is the murder. Respect the blood of human beings. And if it is your own son, that should be more respected. Don't go for abortion. Don't kill your son out of economic difficulties. Maybe he will cause you economic growth in future. So don't judge from the current situation and think that you are the one who's gonna feed him. That's true, you're gonna feed him, but never think that you are actually feeding him. Okay, Allah can, because if you respect Allah's orders, Allah can bring you provision from a way that you have never perceived. And our kids are our investments, not our causes of poverty. If we are really abiding by Allah's solutions, our whole society is abiding by Allah's solutions, then there should be no problem. But the thing is that mostly we are broken societies. We try to follow one aspect Allah's solution, and then we leave it for the man-made solution in many other aspects, and then we expect the yield and outcome as if the whole system is under Allah's system or under the divine system. You cannot expect that, because these are a whole package, and if you take only a minimum of the package, you cannot expect the outcome that is promised for the implementation of the whole packages. Okay, so don't commit murders. Respect human beings, especially those who are most closer to you. That's your kids. نحن نرزقهم وإياكم. I'm gonna feed you and them, so don't worry. Allah says don't worry. So it was number tushriku walidain taqtulu, number 3. So now number 4 among the list of what are prohibited, the 10 commandments. Number 4 is taqrabul fawahish. Don't come close even to any kind of illegal sexual relationships and such kind of indecent behaviors. And underneath this falls huge list of many kind of moral degradation that our society suffers, especially this time. Don't come close to it, because when you come close to it, then one step follows another steps, and you're gonna fall into the trap. So stay at a safe distance. Stay at a safe distance. And what does that mean, stay at a safe distance? You just need to follow the rules that the last prophet came up with in terms of preserving the society, in terms of segregation between male and female, in terms of the rulings of hijab, in terms of the etiquettes of talking, in terms of, so a huge set of things are there if you really want to understand what does it mean to stay at a safe distance. ولا تقربوا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن. Number 5 in the list is an emphasis again. So you can say this is the number 5 is close to number 3, but it's more emphasis. ولا تقتلوا النفس. Don't kill any innocent life. Don't kill an innocent life without any legitimate cause. Don't consider the human beings like anything that you can kill it. Human beings' blood is not cheap. It has to be respected. Number 6. تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن. Don't come close to the money of the orphan. And money of the orphan means money of a weak segment in the society. Because it's easy. So don't exploit the money of the weak segment in the society. Don't give wages to, let's say, somebody who is, you think he doesn't have a voice. You give him less wage because you can exploit them. You can employ the garment factory workers as women in Bangladesh and all those countries, and give her, I don't know, 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents per t-shirt that you sell by $30, and the rest of the bigger slice of the pie goes for the capitalist big companies and industries, and you get those sweat shirt industry, the garment industry workers. This is part of لا تأكلوا مال اليتيم. They represent a weak segment in our society. And underneath comes all this area of marketing and media penetration to infiltrate the society, bombard them with so many kind of mind washing and hypnotizing into eating their money with trickery. So it's a huge chapter, okay? And it's amazing list that Allah gives us. So number 6, لا تأكلوا مال اليتيم حتى يبلغ أشده. Number 7, وأوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط. When you weigh in the scale, give the proper weight. So when it goes from the merchant who sells tomatoes and apples, okay, so instead of 1 kg he gives 0.9 kg, for example. This falls under here, to the biggest things in the society. It's a huge thing, okay. أوفوا الكيل والميزان. All this inequality that we are suffering under the capitalism, it is here, it is addressed in this ayah. All kind of inequality. أوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط. All these things that the list of families that have half of the world's wealth into them have been increasing. The Oxfam reports, right? We used to hear 80 family, then 60 family, 40 family. I don't know, maybe now it's 10 families in the world that have half of the world's wealth. Okay? It's never أوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط. Allah, out of His mercy, is not asking us 100%, which is very difficult, because 100% is Allah's system. Allah Himself is 100%. But any one of us, I think if we are 90% observing equality, then I think we are good. Because Allah cannot burden us things beyond our capability. That's why Allah said, لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها. So let's try our best at least. But the situation right now, it's, I don't know, when you said 10 families taking the money of half of the population, it's beyond comprehension, really. وَإِذَا قُلْتُمْ فَعْدِلُوا وَلَوْ كَانَ ذَا قُرْبَى. When you say something, be just, even if it goes against yourself, against your family members, against the nearest of your family. Be just. This reminds me, for example, Abu-Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, the first of the Khalifa, he has kids and sons and family. Umar bin Khattab, he has kids, Abdullah ibn Umar, and son and family. Ali radiallahu anhu, he had kids, sons and family. They never left, they were khulafa, but at the time of his death, take for example Umar bin Khattab, his son was one of the capable persons to be Khalifa after him. Did he monopolize the system, used his authority to bring his family members into the politics and make it inheritary? No. He said that it's enough for the family of Umar to be just one person held accountable in front of Allah. I don't want to indulge other into sinful actions, because they took this as a responsibility. He was crying that if a woman is got hurt in Iraq, I will be asked on the day of judgment in front of Allah that, oh Umar, you have been the